Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night 27 of Big Brother Season 25's overnight feed recaps. Oh my gosh, I gotta catch a breath. What a crazy night inside the Big Brother house. So many conversations taking place. Let's get right to it, because otherwise this thing's going to last for hours and hours. We don't want that, but there was a lot going on last night. A lot of people blowing up with each other, suspicions, paranoia, everything you expect from Big Brother, right? Except it was all compressed into a single night. All right, so first of all, the veto ceremony was held yesterday. It was not used. Red held the veto. He did not use it. So Blue and Jag remain on the block, and one will be evicted on Thursday, unless this immunity power somehow comes into play and interferes with that. We will find out. We don't know exactly how that's going to work. We don't know who the four people who won the voting just yet. But if that doesn't come into play, then either Blue or Jag will be going home. A lot of discussion about that last night. All right, so who's going home? Original plan was Jag. Then Suri and company decided to flip the vote and save Jag instead and send Blue home. And now there's talk from some in the house to not flip and now send Jag back out the door. A lot of conflicts. Certainly Jared does not want Blue to go home, and he's kind of the crux of a lot of this. He could be the swing vote come Thursday. Isn't that a unique situation? All right, let's get right into the feeds, because as I say, there is a lot to cover. We're going to start off with Suri talking to Matt. She wants Matt to find out who Red would put up if he won HOH, because they had previously been told that Cameron would go after Blue in America if he had the chance. And therefore Red probably as well. So that the suspicion, or they'd been told that Blue in America would go up if Red won the next HOH. Based on that, they actually had considered going ahead and keeping Blue instead, letting Jag go home once they thought that they wouldn't be the target if a Red HOH did occur. So now Suri's saying, I'm not sure if I really believe that. Matt, go find out what's going on. Next conversation, we've got Izzy and Suri talking about who they actually should send out this week, Jag or Blue or Jag. I can't decide. Suri is mentioning that if they keep Jag and Riley came back into the house as part of a battle back, if they've got Jag, then surely they would have Riley as well, right? So that is a little bit thinking. Now, we know that there's not a battle back based on what we've seen with the exit interviews with Julie. We know that's not the case, but it just shows that just the possibility of a battle back is still influencing this game, still influencing votes. We hear some more discussions of it later. People wondering what it would be like if Hassam came back in as part of a battle back. So yeah, they're thinking about it. They know that they're getting to the fourth person and what could possibly happen with that. All right, we've got Blue and Felicia and Suri talking. Blue is going on and on and on about her mom, about her relationship with Jared, how great Jared is, just talking away about families and parents and Jared and all of that. She's mainly talking to Felicia. Suri is there listening and smiling, saying, oh yeah, he's a good egg. He's a great boy and all that. But it certainly seems like Blue is talking primarily to Felicia. Now, I'm sure Suri and Felicia just think that Blue is trying to kiss up to him a little bit because she is on the block this week and all. They don't realize that Blue may be thinking that she's talking to Jared's mom and trying to kiss up to him in that manner instead. So that's pretty funny, watching her subtly being so nice and sweet to these two ladies. So we had that. They did start some game talk, and this is going to come into play a little bit later, because Blue says that Jared said that she is good with regards to the vote this week. Well, some people maybe thinking that's not the case, but Jared told Blue that, nah, you're good. Don't worry about it. She also mentions talking about, she gets upset that people assume that she and Jared are playing the same game. She says, that's not the case. We're playing independent games. And Suri and Felicia question her a little bit about that. And she says, look, Jared, the only way that Jared is leaving is during my HOH. And they both look at her like, what? And she said, I'm not saying next week or anything. I'm on down the road, but he and I are together. If he goes, it's going to be because I'm HOH, and it's just not going to benefit my game. She says that she told Jared that she didn't want her showmance with Jared to interfere with her game or his game, either one. That if if Jared gets to the point where cutting her helps his game, she understands. That's fine. She gets it. She just doesn't want him not to tell her. She doesn't want to be blindsided. But she says, if he has to cut me, as long as he tells me ahead of time, then I'm okay with that. And she says, he's the same way with me. If I have to cut him, I'll do it. I'll do what I have to play my game. So she mentions that. Those statements are pretty much met with silence with Cirie and Felicia, who have Jared as part of their group. So maybe they don't want to be hearing that someone is so easy to cut someone loose if they need to. Look at my hat bouncing around a little bit here. All right, scoot over a little bit. All right, we've got Jag and Matt and America talking about trying to get the votes for Jag to stay. Jag is going to, they've come up with this plan. Jag's going to tell Cirie and the rest of her group that if Red wins next week, then Red's going to be coming after Jag. So if you keep me, you got a target already in the house. If you get rid of me, then who knows what Red may do next week. It could be one of y'all. So hold on to me, and then you don't have to worry about it. They are realizing that they need votes from Izzy and Cirie and Felicia and Nicole in order for Jag to stay. That combined with the votes from America and Matt and Corey would be enough. So Jag gets to stick around. Blue goes home. After America leaves, Matt says, I couldn't really hear, are you good, Jag? And he says, I don't know, we'll see. So they know they've got to get those votes. Not sure if they can get them just yet. All right, we've got Felicia and Nicole and Izzy talking in the bathroom. Felicia is relaying Blue's conversation about Jared, saying, she's ready to cut. She's ready to cut him if she needs to. Matt apparently told Felicia that Cameron had said the plan next week was actually to target Izzy and Blue. Remember, Cirie had sent Matt off to find out? Matt is saying, the actual target would be Izzy and Blue if it came down to it. As a result of that little bit of information, they're now saying, well, we need to keep Jag because they want him as a strong competitor and everything else. So now they've decided they were going to send Jag. They were going to send Jag out. Then they decided maybe they'd keep him, then maybe not keep him. Now they're deciding they want to keep Jag after all. They are talking about when they should tell Jared that they want to tell him, but just not really sure when. At one point, they said, well, maybe we'll tell him tomorrow instead. Well, Jared already knows through Cirie, but no one else knows that just yet. Felicia is also saying, maybe we should also tell Blue, since she just got through saying how she doesn't want to be blindsided. She just wants Jared to tell the truth to her. So maybe we need to tell her as well. They're saying, but let's not tell her till the last possible moment, right before the vote. She can find out then, but we're not going to tell her beforehand. You don't need to tell people that they're going home ahead of time. I did that a little bit, and it'll come back and bite you. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't owe anyone that kind of information, but I get what they're doing. All right. A little bit later, we've got Jared and Felicia and Nicole and Matt together in the bathroom. They're griping about Cameron and Red, just that they're too comfortable with each other. They're hanging out too much together. Jared is saying he can't stand them. They're way too comfortable with each other, as I just said. They're way too comfortable with what they think is a good position in the house. He's saying, I want them gone. They need to go. I do not want them in here any longer. They're all agreeing. They're talking about Corey, then transitioning over to Corey. They're all agreeing that he's pretty much playing the middle right now. He probably does not even want to win the HOH. And I think it's Jared that said, even if he wins HOH, he probably wouldn't put us up. We're probably safe with Corey. He doesn't really help us, but he doesn't hurt us because he's just trying to play the middle right now. All right, later we've got Felicia and Jared in the backyard alone. And this was an interesting conversation. It was a long conversation as well, but they're talking a little bit about all kinds of things, including the fact Felicia has told Jared about the plan to send out Blue and save Jag instead. Jared is immediately arguing that with Felicia and saying, look, Blue is going to protect people around me, and Jag is going to be tough to get out later, and Jag's going to be coming after me. He said, sending Blue out the door does not help my game at all, Felicia. So he's really arguing with what she has just told him. The conversation then turns a little bit to Izzy, and there's worry that Izzy is creating issues for their side because of her beef with Cameron, amongst other things. Izzy is creating a lot of attention and really making things difficult for their side of the house. So they're not real happy with Izzy right now. Felicia is also saying that she pointed out to Cirie that Suri is fixated on Jared and Blue's relationship with each other. She's telling Jared said, yeah, she doesn't talk about that like about Corey and America the way she complains about you and Blue. She didn't complain about America and Riley the way she complains about you and Blue. Well, again, Felicia doesn't know that Jared is Suri's son, and that maybe Suri has a little more invested in worrying about that particular showmance and relationship. So Felicia is pointing that out. She finishes up, well, not finishes, there's a lot of conversation, but at one point she says, I really hope Suri is willing to boot Izzy when the time comes, that she doesn't hold on to her forever. She has to be willing to let her go. Well, we'll find out. All right, Jared is in the storage room with Suri immediately after that conversation with Felicia. He's telling Suri what Felicia just told him. Suri is including that she spilled, that this plan is to vote out Blue and everything. Suri is again arguing about why it's important that they save Jag instead of Blue. She's saying the other thing too. She's saying, look, no one thinks that you're going to vote to send out Blue. So if you cast that vote, then the other side, they're all going to be wondering who flipped, who didn't in the end vote to save Jag. It's going to create all kinds of issues there. You're not going to get any blood on your hands because no one knows that you're going to be the vote. You don't have to tell anyone at all. She's also realizing and telling him, saying, look, we have to have your vote in order to save Jag. If we don't have it, then this whole plan dies on the vine, so to speak. So she is recognizing that. Jared is arguing that, look, if we vote out Blue, I'm not going to just lose Blue. I'm also going to lose Corey as well. And she's saying, why is that? And he's saying, well, because then Corey's going to go to the other side. And I'm losing a lot of people if you try to force this issue. And that's why I'm not going to do it. He's also talking about the fact that he just doesn't trust Jag. She keeps saying, look, we need Jag to win competitions for us. And he's saying, I don't trust Jag. Even if you save him, I don't think he's going to be loyal to us. We're still going to lose Jag. And then you got someone, a strong competitor on the other side, as opposed to Blue. So it only hurts your case even more. Jared's also saying that Izzy had told him that Jag had been bringing info to Red and Cameron. So he really doesn't trust Jag because of that. And he also says that Izzy said that Jag was already saying Jared's name as a potential target. So Jared is just not sold. I don't know if he's really not sold on Jag at all, or that's just a little bit of an excuse on why he really is not wanting to send Blue out the door. It's probably a combination of both. He is pointing out, or Suri is saying that she had never heard that, what he's saying is he said. Suri's saying, I never heard that you're going to be the target or any of that. I just haven't heard that, Jared. But then she's also pointing out that Blue just got through saying that she'd kick you out the door if she has the chance, if it justifies her game. So don't put too much loyalty here with Blue, Jared. Jared is also telling Suri that Felicia had mentioned a final two with Suri, which is true. They call it the bookends. He's saying, Felicia told me she had a final two with you, but that she wasn't so sure about that right now, and that she maybe would be interested in a final two with me instead. So a final two with Jared and Felicia. He's telling Suri that. I did not hear that in the conversation he had with Felicia. Now, there was a little whispering going on, but I think I would have picked up on that. But he's saying, yeah, Felicia's kind of talking to me about a final two. So, your final two with her, just, be warned. So Jared just spilling the beans on everything and maybe embellishing a little bit as well. All right. We have then immediately almost after that, Suri reports this information to Izzy. Of course she does, right? She's reporting to Izzy, including the fact that Izzy had supposedly said that Jag was bringing info to Red and Cameron. Izzy says, no, I did not say that. I didn't know. There's no way I said it. She's not accusing him of lying. It's basically the kind of the end. She's saying, Suri saying, well, that's what he thinks. Y'all need to clarify, because I think he may be misunderstood or something. So it's not that one person is being dishonest. It sounds like they're assuming there's a little bit of confusion about exactly what was said there. But Izzy saying, I did not say that. They are upset with Felicia for telling Jared as well. That Felicia doesn't think that she can trust Suri because Suri talks too much. There's a lot of people that talk too much in this house. Felicia's talking about talking too much. She just got through talking to Jared. But anyway, Suri is very disappointed, hurt, upset that Felicia's kind of been talking bad about Cirie to Jared as well. They're both laughing that Felicia would want a final two with Jared, given the mother son relationship that Felicia is not aware exists, and they're laughing that Felicia thinks that she can make that happen. All right, we've got Blue and Jared talking a little bit. This isn't the Blue and Jared episode tonight. We a little hanging out with each other, but so much else going on. Blue is thinking that she has a very good relationship with everyone in the house, except for Nicole. Not so much with Nicole. They haven't talked in a couple of weeks, supposedly, but she feels like she's got a great relationship with everyone else. Yeah, maybe not so much, Blue. A lot of people not really thinking that you're vital to their game or anything else, but that's what she's thinking. All right, we got Corey and Cameron talking on the hammock. Cameron talking about what a smooth week this has been. Well, I think your opinion may have changed later in the evening, Cameron. But he's saying, yeah, it's been a pretty smooth week. Corey's saying, yeah, I guess so, but just so you know, Izzy was pretty worried about being a potential backdoor. So they mentioned that. Corey's talking about next week could be pretty easy too. He's saying, look, Blue could be an easy nominee and target next week. None of us have to sweat. Jag goes home this week. Blue goes home next week. It should be easy, Cameron. Corey's talking a little bit about battle backs. He's always thinking about this game. He's saying 17 is just a weird number for the house guests to be brought in. And he's wondering if something happened, that maybe there were supposed to be more or something. He's saying, yeah, something had to have happened. There had to be some kind of modification. 17 is just a weird number for memory boards or anything else. So Corey wondering if there's something more up, and yeah, I think that's a good thought. We got Red and Cameron talking in the HOH. They're starting to think that something is up. They're seeing people scrambling around and whispering and doing all kinds of things that should not be happening on an easy week. So they're thinking something up, that maybe there is a target change. Maybe there is some talk about Blue going home instead of Jag, and certainly they're not too happy with that. They're talking about Izzy and Cirie are no longer talking when Red comes in. He says, Izzy, I expect all that with her. He said, but Cirie usually is always, talking a lot. He said, here recently, I walk in a room and Cirie gets quiet quickly and they both get up and leave. He said, that's not a good sign. I do not like hearing that or seeing that happen at all. And I think Cameron, is the one who responds back, says, they may be talking about you and I being targets. I think that's very likely. They're recognizing, as much as they thought they were in a good position, they are also recognizing that something's going on, and it could certainly involve next week and one or both of those guys being on the block. So they're understanding their positions are a little precarious in the game, as they are, and as they should be aware. All right. Meanwhile, we've got Cirie wondering who is passing information on to Red. I think about him possibly being a target next week. There's just a lot of information flowing from a lot of different people. That's what you get when you have a dozen different alliances that have 7 or 8 people each. Everyone's sharing everything. There are no secrets in the Big Brother house in the best of times. When you have this many people involved in decisions, there's no secrets whatsoever. But Cirie's upset. She thinks that Red's been getting information he shouldn't be getting. She asked Izzy about it. What did you say? She asked several times, Izzy, what have you said about Red to anyone? And Izzy's kind of saying, well, I talked to Corey. I talked to America. I didn't really say much, but you can't keep those kind of secrets. But she's asking Izzy about it. She's wondering about Felicia and what Felicia may have said. At one point, she said, God, I hope Felicia isn't over there saying stupid stuff to America and Bowie Jane. So we're starting to certainly see cracks develop within this core group that I thought was going to last longer than this. But why would I expect that? So yeah, we're starting to see some cracks develop. We'll see how this thing proceeds. Cirie does say that she doesn't want to ask Felicia directly about some of this information, since some of it was information that she got from Jared after his conversation with her, and she didn't want to reveal too much. So she's a little hesitant to confront Felicia at this point in time, but she's certainly aware that some of the things that Felicia's been saying, and just wondering where Felicia's loyalty may be as a result of it. All right, we've got Izzy trying to talk to Jared upstairs on the upstairs lounge. I don't think really about Jag versus Blue and trying to convince him to send Blue out the door. I don't think really anything ever came of it. He kind of rehashed his other arguments, and It seems like it still is kind of is what it is. We do have Izzy leaving the comic room at one point to go and try to find out how Felicia maybe wants to vote this week. I think we got a little information on that a little bit later. But then after that, we've got Red coming into the comic room. I think he came into the comic room. Later, Cerie said she came in and he was already in bed. I feel like he came in. I don't remember. But anyway, Red and Cerie end up in the comic room together, and Red is unloading about Izzy. He's very upset about Izzy. He's saying he's sick of her. He's over it, that he didn't put her up this week. Surely that should prove something. He didn't put her up, but that she still has all these secret groups that she's whispering to and everything, that he is done trying, that she is throwing out his name to everyone as a target for next week, that he no longer wants to be in an alliance with her, that, this alliance, it has my son's name. I'm true to it, but I do not want to be in an alliance with Izzy anymore. He's telling Cerie, saying, we have to get rid of her. She is unstable. She's going to create issues for all of us. We have to cut Izzy at this point. And Cerie's just kind of saying, yeah, okay, well, yeah, I hear you. And, not really agreeing, but not necessarily disagreeing either, just letting him vent a little bit. Red's very upset. Red's saying that he wants to be in any alliance that Cerie is in. That's his key. Cerie at that point, I think she said something about what about your connections with America and Bowie and Cameron and Matt? And he says, look, he said, first of all, no connection with America. He says the other ones, yeah, we've talked. He said, but we're not necessarily talking about alliances. We're just talking about who we want to go to jury with as opposed to send out right now and all. He says, so we're not talking about alliances. We're just talking about making sure we all get to jury together. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more than that, but that's what he's told her. So they mentions that. He's also mentioning Felicia. He's saying, I just don't know where Felicia's head is at. And I think at that point, Cerie said something like, yeah, that's a whole nother story, and just left it at that. All right, Cerie eventually realizes that Red is just furious, that this is going to really create issues with this pseudo alliance they have. So Cerie actually goes and gets Izzy and has Izzy come down to the comic room and talk to Red. Red is venting on Izzy. He's saying, look, you've hurt me. He's saying that, yes, I talked to Cameron and Matt and Bowie, but not America. Kind of same thing. Yeah, I've talked to them, but we're not aligned or anything. And it's just about jury. It's not, not alliances. And I've tried to do so much to work with you, Izzy, and you just do all this over and over again. Cerie's trying to mend fences by saying, look, people are just trying to pit us against each other. We've got to realize these are outside people. They're just trying to create these issues, and y'all are giving into it. Izzy is talking about, in response, saying, look, I'm just trying to connect with everyone in the house. When I talk to everyone, I don't mean anything by it. I'm just trying to connect with everyone. And Red saying, why do you keep asking if I would nominate you if I won HOH next week? You're asking everyone that question. That does not make me feel good. And she's saying, look, I know you're asking the same questions about me. It's just us checking out, and she says, you're asking that about me. I'm asking about you. It is what it is. And I think she's the one that says, look, maybe it's just, we've got a little misunderstanding. Just because we're talking to different people doesn't mean that we can't still work together. And eventually Red says, look, it must have been Matt or Bowie Jane that told. And I think that's about maybe putting up Izzy as a potential pawn, as a potential backdoor. He's saying it must have been Matt or Bowie Jane, for all I know, that maybe put that out there. And Red at this point is also talking about America, saying, I just don't trust America. Everyone's throwing America under the bus right now. And at the end, Red and Izzy basically say, yeah, look, we're going to work together. We're going to try to do better. We're going to try not to make each other too suspicious and everything else. And neither one of them means it, but they're doing what they think they need to do to calm each other down. So they kind of, I think they hug it out at the end and agree that they'll try to talk and do better going forward. Yeah, we'll see about that. Now we've got Red talking to Felicia. Right after he said he wasn't sure where Felicia's head's at, Red's talking to Felicia, saying how much he loves her, how much he trusts Cerie, and that he just wants to continue work with her. Felicia's talking about the High Som backdoor and really saying, look, because Red's upset that still upset that he and Cameron were not included in that decision to backdoor High Som, that they didn't know about it until after it happened. Felicia's saying, like, I was not the one. It was not my decision to not include y'all in that particular decision. I hope you don't hold that against me personally. And they talk about that a little bit, but quickly it turns into Red again complaining to Felicia about Izzy as well. So yeah, he's still not over Izzy. I'm not surprised. All right, we got Felicia talking to Nicole next, saying that Red really likes Cirie too much. And as a result, Cirie knows how much Red likes and trusts her, so that as a result, Cirie's probably never going to put Red up, never send him out the door. And Felicia's saying that as much as Izzy and Cirie and Jared talk about how much they hate Red and Cameron, she says they're still going to vote with them. Watch, they'll still vote the same way as Red and Cameron. As much as they talk about it, they're still willing to work with them. And she says it's really going to take us to make a big move at this point. They're not going to do it. It's going to be one of us that has to make this big move. Felicia's sowing her oats, getting a little independence here from Cirie and Izzy. Felicia is saying that Izzy needs to just shut up. That now, because of Izzy and her big mouth, that Jag is probably going to go home because of the information that she spilled and all that. And so, yeah, Felicia's not real happy with Izzy or Cirie at this point in time. Eventually, we have Cirie coming in to the room. There's talking about how mad Red is again. Cirie's kind of reporting what was said. Felicia is saying, look, we got to visit with Jared. We got to figure out what we're going to do. We do not want to split house on this vote on Thursday. And they're all agreeing. So they're saying, well, let's see if we can't hash this out, figure something out. Eventually, we have Izzy comes in as well. Izzy saying, look, the other side thinks we're all voting out Jag. That they want to stick with the Legends 25. They want to stick with the 8 strong. That's where they're leaning. Izzy saying, we got to get Jared to vote our way, though, because she says, I don't want to try to get America or Corey to flip. And if I'm not going to talk to them, then we're going to have to count on Jared's vote. Now, Corey already said that he would really just as soon keep Jag and send Blue out the door. So I think if they talked to Corey and America and got them on board, it would probably work. But Corey and America are kind of persona non grata now. No one wants to work with them out of a lack of trust and faith. So Izzy's saying that's not an option. We got to convince Jared or it's not going to happen. All right, we got Felicia, Red. So much talked about. Felicia, Red, Cirie, Izzy, Nicole all heading to the HOH to talk to Cameron to hash everything out from this crazy night. And then Bowie Jane shows up a little bit as well, just to add to the conversation. So we basically have all of the Legends 25 except for Matt, who I think may be in the shower, maybe diary room, but I think he's in the shower. So all the Legends 25 except for Matt are up there talking. Cirie is saying, look, someone knew Izzy was a possible pawn and it got out. And I don't know who it is, but it's someone. And I think Red at one point says, yeah, there's a lot of money on the line at the end. We're not really sure, but, we just have to move past that. In the end, there wasn't a lot of deep conversation. Them just all trying to agree that they want to work together. At the end, they all hugged it out and walked out the door, and nothing's really solved or resolved. There was talk about, I think Red's the one said, anything comes up, we have to either dissolve or resolve or something. And they're, oh yeah. Nothing's going to change. So they all hug out at the end, they leave. Cirie later fills in Matt and says, look, Corey or America, I think, is stirring the pot. They're the ones that are putting some of this stuff out there and creating some of these issues. All right, later we've got Bowie Jane going back up to the HOH and talking to Cameron and Red. Remember, these three kind of tight. A lot of people are recognizing it. So she's talking to them. They're complaining again about Izzy. Cameron is suggesting that maybe Corey implied something to Izzy, and then Izzy just kind of twisted it around and made it sound much more worse than it was. And, that maybe that's how some of this stuff was started up that created so many issues on the other side being upset with him. Cameron is upset that he's being questioned by his alliance. He's saying, yeah, I fought to get in here. I didn't put them on the block, and yet they're still up here questioning me. I don't like it. I don't need that at all. He's saying that the alliance also specifically asked him to get closer to America to get some information. And now they're all upset as well. And he said, at this point, if I lose her, I lose her. I don't care. He's talking about America. So he's just a little tired of all of this going on. All right, we've got Matt and Nicole in the bathroom. Matt is saying that he just doesn't trust Izzy at this point in time. She talks too much. She talks to too many people and too paranoid on it. He does not trust Izzy at all. McCall is saying, I don't even know at this point. I don't even know who is really leaking info, where this stuff's coming from. Too many people talking too much. All right, we've got Jared and McCall talking after this. So Matt left, McCall's still in there. Jared is saying, look, Red just works people up. That's the way he does. He's getting people all worked up right now. He's saying, and as far as America, she lies through her teeth. I can't lie or believe anything that she says, and so she's certainly to blame as well. They're talking about the HOH coming up on Thursday. Jared is saying, look, the only people who really want to win HOH this week are you, McCall, myself, Felicia, Surrey, Izzy, and then whoever survives this HOH vote this week, Blue or Jared or Blue or Jag would probably want to try to win it as well. He said everyone else is going to try to throw this. No one wants to be making the decisions coming up. They don't want the blood on their hands. So really, one of us should be able to win this and be able to do something with it. So he thinks that there's not going to be that many people competing this week. So much uncertainty in this house. Who is so certain about their position that they would not compete this week? Yeah, you're going to get blood on your hands, but you have to at one point in time. Everyone should be competing, but he's thinking that's not going to be the case. And we're going to finish up this whole crazy night by a statement from McCall, which I think summarizes a whole lot of viewers as well. She's saying everyone in this house just needs to chill. Too much talk, too much going on. Everyone just needs to chill out. McCall, the sentiment of the evening, it was a crazy night. Everyone in bed by 4:00 or so. So yeah, what an evening. So in summary, is Jag or Blue going home? I don't know. It may come down to Jared still. I don't think he's going to vote out Blue. And if he's not going to do that, then yeah, it could be the end of the road for Jag. I don't think Cerie's side's going to go through with the vote if they don't think they have him on board. And I just don't know that they're going to have him on board. So we've got that. All kinds of cracks between Red and Izzy. Well, that's a Grand Canyon there. But also cracks between Felicia and Cerie, Felicia and Izzy. All kinds of things are getting ready to blow up, as they tend to do at this time of the season. Based on my own season, yeah, this is a perfect time for it. It's going to be a fun week or two coming up. But I'll be back tomorrow. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, I'll be back Wednesday morning to give you all the update. See what all the blowback is from all the stuff that happened overnight. God, what a crazy night. Y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. Until tomorrow morning, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends.